Chain of office. Brand new chain of office, first time wearing it here today. Okay, now let's meet somebody who's steeped in soccer and steeped here in the Westport United grounds for a couple of years now. He's been wearing the wellies and digging drains and all kinds of stuff, as well as raising money. Would you please welcome the chair of the Westport United Community Soccer Limited, Mr. Kevin Cusack. Looks like it's a long speech, yeah?
Yeah, right there.
Thank you, Dermot. Thank you, Dermot. Cahirlock Brendan Mulroy, President of Westport United, Sean McKenna, all our Vice Presidents here today, Minister Michael Ring, all our public representatives, our Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone from Westport United, the community of Westport and surrounding areas, and those of you who travelled here today to celebrate our official opening of Phase 1 and 2 of our ambitious project. Today is a very proud day for Westport United Football Club and also the committee of Westport United Community Soccer Club Limited. A number of years ago, a group of people met to discuss the continuing growth of soccer in Westport, but also the lack of facilities to cater for the players and coaches who were involved in Westport United. After a long search and some near misses, we were very fortunate to be able to purchase this 13.5-acre site from the Brown family in Westport House. In every aspect of the sale, and sometimes at very short notice due to deadlines for grants, the Brown family were always extremely helpful and a pleasure to deal with. I'd like to thank Karen, Sheelan, the Brown family and also the staff of Westport House. We look forward to being neighbours for years to come. Once the sale of the site went through, a major push to complete the planning application process and the Sports Capital Programme grant applications, the forms were submitted to the relevant authorities. The former Westport Town Council, as you do see, and Mayo County Council officials and all our elected representatives were fully supportive of the project. As Brendan said, a grant of 100,000 was awarded to this project. This was a fantastic boost to us all and the committee. Thank you to all who were involved in that. Another huge boost came from the awarding of €200,000 from the office of the Minister Michael Ring, who was the then Junior Minister for Transport, Tourism and Sport. This grant was to develop 2 football pitches, and I think, Mr Ring, you will agree, looking out here today, it was money well spent. As Brendan said, a brilliant ambassador for Westport, and indeed all of Mayo, we are forever indebted to Minister Michael Ring for all his work on this project, and indeed everything Michael does for his town and county. Thank you, Minister Michael Ring, who is a former player and former chairman of Westport United Football Club. Once the planning permission was granted, the owner's task of developing this site from a greenfield site to what we see here today began at pace. We were very fortunate to have Pat O'Donnell of Construction Services and Earth Science Partnerships as our engineer, and also Michael Horton of AXO Architects as our architect. The site required large volumes of fill material, and thanks to a major project taking place in Allergan, we had Sisk and Millans filling our site with material removed from the Allergan site, and under the guidance of Pat O'Donnell and Michael Horton, we got the site up to the required levels. We also had good work carried out by the workers on the 2 scheme under the guidance of Tony Mulroy, and we had Eddie Connaughton who designed the pitch, and the pitch was actually constructed by Dare Golf. As the site was being filled, Michael Horton of AXO Architects was working on the design and layout of the dressing rooms and clubhouse. To say Michael worked night and day would be only half the story. We often got emails from Michael, which he would have sent at 4:30 AM in the morning, with updates to layout and room sizes and design features. On my behalf, on behalf of the committee, a very special thank you to Michael Horton and AXO Architects, whose expertise Michael's expertise, time and commitment to completing this project was an inspiration to us all. Michael has never asked to be paid for his work, a truly amazing gesture from a talented architect and an equally gifted footballer. Thank you to Michael, your ever-patient wife and family. Your work will forever be remembered by us all. As we had spent the first few years discussing muck, fill and soil, we were finally in a position to start the process of building our clubhouse, which you see here today. Tenders were issued and Peter and Harold Conway, trading as Whitecroft Limited, were awarded the contract to construct this wonderful building as you see behind me here today. A number of major boosts from various bodies gave fresh momentum to the project. A grant of 200,000 was awarded towards the building costs from the FBI through the Sports Capital Programme and Michael Ring's office again. We also received a donation of €35,000 from the Allergan Foundation. A huge thank you to all management and staff in Allergan. As work progressed on the building, finance was always a huge issue, and under the guidance of Danny McLaughlin, who unfortunately is unable to be with us here today, and also Peter Flynn, our finance committee continued to fundraise through our 80s discos, our golf MMs and other initiatives. And thank you to all of you for your continued support for these events. As I said, Danny isn't able to be here today, but again, his drive and enthusiasm would be a long way from where we are today. Danny, who also has a very patient wife and family, a very special thank you to you also. Peter Flynn Jr. has continued the Finance Committee's work, and under his chairmanship we continue to fund and repay our loans. And thanks to Joe and staff in the AIB in Westport, we have managed to keep the construction work to progress to where we are today. The direct debit scheme has been the lifeblood of the project, and a huge thank you to every one of you who has contributed to it. And Peter asked me to mention, if you're not on it, we'll see if you're in a position to sign up today. We'd be very grateful. Peter Flynn has managed the direct debit scheme among other events. He has always led by example. As he says during meetings, yes, it will be tough, but it is doable. Peter, and again, is another man with a very extremely patient wife, and on everyone's behalf, I'd like to thank Peter for all his work and his commitment to the project over the years. There is one other man in our committee who's always in the background and who has taken this project from an idea all those years ago to where we are today. He probably will not thank me for this, but I don't make any apologies for it. This man is my brother Brian Cusack. When jobs were needed to be done, Brian would quietly say, "I look after that." And he knew it would be done without fuss, and when that job was done, he would come back and say, "What else needs to be done?" Those of you that know Brian will know that Brian doesn't do a lot of talking, but he certainly does a lot of doing. I know we mention all the other lads and their patient wives, but as everyone knows, Brian is the most patient wife of them all. To Brian and family, thank you for everything. We're nearly there. Throughout this project, we've been very fortunate to have the support of so many companies, individuals and groups. From the building side, Peter and Harold Conway and also Ronnie of Whitecroft Limited were a joy to work with. Big changes, small changes were all dealt with without a fuss. We've had lots of volunteers who gave their time, some businesses who donated large sums of money, as especially mentioned the Allergan Foundation, the Hughes family as Port West, Multi-Packaging Solutions, formerly of Berries, Super Value, to mention just a few. There were also several individuals who donated large sums of money towards the project. Thank you to every one of you for your generosity. We also had a number of volunteers who've done amazing work here over the last number of months. The entrance walls you see behind you were built for some of our friends from the GA. We only borrow them, lads. We'll get you back to you. Thanks to Porrick, Seamus, James, PJ, Tom, and their helpers Mark, Morgan, Dave, Sean, Michael. To our carpenters for their shuttering, Brian Fahey and Brendan Horton. To our plasterers, Michael Herity, Rodney as we know him, and Michael John, Tommy Moore and Michael McDonald, Jerry Gavin and his crew, who all done a fantastic job. Also to Michael Cusack, Creative Wood, and John Henry of Skyport, thank you for the work that you carried out in the project over the last number of months. Those of you that have been here on a regular basis will know we had a very professional painting firm in, which we were very lucky to have. A special thank you to Sean Jordan, who was the boss, to Tommy Riley, who was the other boss, to Brian and Michael McLaughlin, who were their apprentices, and to Edwin Gibbons, who was the real boss. There were other apprentice painters, but a special thank you to the lads who spent days and weeks finishing inside, painting, cleaning, hanging pictures, erecting benches and everything that needed to be done. You can see inside what a wonderful job they've done. Also thanks to Tom Tracy and Joe Malley and Print for You for the work that you see on the wall inside. We'd also like to thank a special group, a couple of people who were here today as well. Many years ago, we had National Free Week. Paula Halp, and I call her Paula Kennedy, and Alan Kennedy, and not forgetting a special mention for Oisin, who spent weeks around the side, on this side and up on the hill behind you, planting trees. Tremendous job done quietly and effectively. Thank you, Paula, Alan, and especially Oisin and everyone that helped out on the day. A little bit of Oscailga for Mairead. Mar a bhí mo wathaí gcónaí ó rá, má tá tú le job a dhéanamh tá sé chomh maith agus é a dhéanamh ceart. Tá súil agam go gníontainn tú lom, rinne mé ar job ceart. I would like to thank or apologise to anyone I've left out. There have been so many people. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. Please be assured we appreciate everything which has been done by everybody here today. I will finish by quoting a former chairman whose first speech in 1992 said, "This club urgently needs new facilities to progress." It took a while, but I think, Michael Rabbit, and I hope you'll all agree, it was worth the wait. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.